What is up, YouTube? RunningBaldMan here. And this weekend, this past Saturday, I did my first obstacle course race. So I thought today, in addition to a reaction video, I would give a quick rundown synopsis of that. This was here just outside of Louisville, Kentucky. It was the Berserker Battle OCR, I believe is the name of it. Put on by Berserker Brew Coffee, local brand. If you're in Louisville, definitely, or even if you're not in Louisville, you can order it online. It will ship to you. You just can't get the growler of cold brew if you're not local Louisville. But it's really good. He has designed it to be for athletes. And designed to where it's so smooth, you do not need to add sugar or any fat to it, just cream or anything like that. But it is really smooth. You just drink black. I do. I drink regular coffee black anyway. But it was put on by him. This was the first year of the race, and it was a beast. It was an OCR qualifier. So that should have been enough right there to say, hey, this isn't for you. But to start off, the first 6 obstacles, we had to carry a 65-pound Atlas ball and push it over a couple walls, roll it while we crawled underneath some rope nets. And there were a couple other things there with that I don't quite remember. After that, it was just random obstacles. All upper body strength, which I have very little. So I looked at a lot of the obstacles and I touched them. Then I said, no, there's no way in hell I'm doing this. I'm not even going to try and make a fool out of myself. There was one that had pegs, and you had to put it in the hole while you're suspended in the air, holding yourself up, and cross, I don't know, maybe 7-8 foot. Another one where the peg one again, where it was the mountain pike, I believe it was called. So the basically plywood was slanted, and you had to use the pegs to pull yourself up to the top and then back down. There's another one that I remember called Dig Deep. Men, we had to take a 25-pound medicine ball, and women used a 15-pound medicine ball. But it was, I don't know, 9-10 feet. We had to throw it over top of a wall, basically, and then throw it back over the wall. This whole course was on like somebody's farm. So over creeks, and I was covered in mud. I fell a few times and got bit by a couple of thorns. There was another one. The one I did complete once I got out onto the course. We had the big hay bales. If you're familiar with farmlands, huge giant hay bales. They were stacked on top of each other. We had to climb up and over those. I was able to do that just because the wrapping of the hay bale, I was able to grab hold of that and kind of help pull myself up. It was cold too. It was 32-ish at the start of the race. They did have a big fire to help keep everybody warm. There wasn't that many people, but it was nice. It's not something I would do on a regular basis, or something that's going to take the place of my normal trails and road running. But it was nice to say, hey, I did one of those. I might try and do one again later on down the road, maybe next year if he's doing it again. But yeah, so that was my Saturday, and then the weekend was just shot. So, but today, as far as the reaction video, getting out to something that I don't normally listen to anymore is a country song. I grew up listening to country music, old 80s country, Alabama Band, Garth Brooks, Hank Williams Jr. It's going back a little farther in the 80s, but you get the idea. The most recent country artist I've listened to was Big and Rich, I believe. And I really kind of quit listening after their second album. I just lost base with it. But I did really like Big and Rich. Modern country has really gotten too twangy for me. So it's not something I normally prefer. But today I'm doing Chris Stapleton's Tennessee Whiskey, his Austin City Limits performance. So let's see how that is and see if today's country is like early 2000s country and twangy. So let's see if this will work. And during my 20s, basically all I drank was Jack and Coke, so Tennessee whiskey. So it's kind of fitting that I'm listening to a song called Tennessee Whiskey. This one's got kind of a bluesy feel right here at the start, at least to me, my untrained ear. But so far, it seems all right. So far it's pretty good. I mean, it's got a good sound to it and everything. Nice little beat. Like I said, it sounds bluesy to me, but it'd be a good song to slow dance to. I guess my high school in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, I could definitely see or imagine this being played at a high school dance, and yeah, I didn't dance much. That was a nice little stretch there. He's got a set of loans on him. Got a nice beard. I miss my beard. I haven't done a lot of trails, but whenever I do trails, it just grows. It's like the hairy beast comes out. It was a little bit of a high note for a old boy. I mean, higher than I would try to go, and higher than you would imagine a country male willing to go, because the whole thing, the whole stereotype. Yeah, that's a nice little bluesy right there. Nice little bluesy guitar solo. Not the saxophone or trumpet or whatever, but it's pretty good. I mean, he's no Coltrane or Miles Davis, but I'm liking this so far. Now, I'm sure there's better Tennessee whiskey out there than Jack Daniels. That's really the only Tennessee whiskey that I've become familiar with, but I'm sure there is. And it's smoothish. I've always mixed it with Coke. I've never really drank it straight. But with this, at least this song, I could definitely see sitting in a dark bar or something, blues bar, in a chair, good glass of scotch, just kind of chilling, laid back, maybe smoking a cigar or something. So that was Chris Stapleton and Tennessee Whiskey. I wasn't horrified by it. No, I actually thought it was pretty good, though. Nice little bluesy. Does anybody know if that's the type of country that he sings, or if he goes off into the twang? Because if he stays like that, I could definitely see myself listening to him. I don't know that I would go to a concert just because I don't really like all those people. Being around that many people, I'm not a fan of crowds. Let me clarify that. But yeah, that was Chris Stapleton, Tennessee Whiskey. I'll give it, I don't know, out of five bald heads, I'd give it 3.5 to 4 bald heads, freshly shaven bald heads. All right. This is Running Bald Man. Make sure you like or don't like, subscribe, comment, tell me I suck, whatever. Tell me to get a haircut or grow my hair out. But yeah, have a good night.